My dear brothers and sisters, we're about to start the most important Passover holiday of our lifetime. And the reason why I say it's the most important Passover holiday of our lifetime is because every holiday has a message, every holiday has an energy. This year Passover, we're waiting for this energy and message more than any other year of our lifetime. Many people are going to be asking tonight the question, how can we celebrate as a Jewish family, as a Jewish nation, Passover, the holiday of freedom, the holiday of liberation, the holiday of miracles, the holiday of becoming a Jewish nation after what we've been going through since October 7th and what is happening literally today on college campuses, what's happening today in Gaza where 133 hostages are being held, what's happening in the north and south of Israel where families cannot sit in their homes and celebrate Passover with their family because they're direct threats from the Hamas or from the Hezbollah in Iran shooting missiles into their home. So the question, people are sitting down, this year Passover, how are we able to celebrate this message, how are we able to do it? This has been a very dark and challenging year. My answer, my dear friends, this year for the Seder is the answer of 3 items that we have on the Seder table. Those 3 items is going to teach us and inspire us and guide us in this difficult time, how we go through this. One of the highlights of the Passover Seder is the matzah. The other highlight is the 4 cups of wine and the charosas. Each one of them have something that's very challenging and dark and depressing, and it has something that's very liberating. Let's use the matzah. The matzah, the bread that we're going to read at the Seder, is the matzah that we ate as slaves in Egypt. It represents the slavery. Yet also the matzah talks about the liberation of when we left Egypt, we had the dough didn't have enough time to rise. You see, the same matzah represents both the challenge, the slavery, and the redemption. Let's use charosas. Charosas we eat because of the cement that the Jewish people had to use when they're building the pyramids. Again, represents slavery, but also in the charosas is apples. And it reminds us of the miracle when God saved the Jewish babies and they ate from the apple tree. The 4 cups of wine also, the 4 cups of wine represent, the reason it should be red, it reminds us of the blood, of the blood and the suffering in Egypt, but also the wine, it represents the 4 cups, the 4 expressions of redemption. And the message is so loud and clear and it's needed this year, that in the darkest moments, in the most challenging times, in the most frightening times, is also a moment of light and of rebuilding and of success. Each one of these items at the Seder table has both of these concepts. And the same thing is in our life. You see, since October 7th, such a dark time, so many lives were lost and so many hostages still being held, yet we also saw so many beautiful things of unity and connection. And that is such an important message in our life. We find more Jewish people are getting in touch with their Jewish identity and asking, what does it mean to be a Jew? You look at this campus I'm staying on right now, I'm just walking on right now. This is a beautiful campus we're building for Chabad and Friendship Circle. And we had buildings here, and we knocked down the buildings in order to build something even more beautiful. If you look throughout our history, whenever there was a nation that wanted to wipe us out, from the Egyptians and the Syrian Greeks and the Nazi Yamach Shemai and the Romans, and now we're going through the same thing in Israel and throughout the country. Let's look back at our history, and that's what Pesach is about, looking back at our history, is our story. History means our story. And what does it tell us? That even the most brutal nations, their goal was to wipe us out. What happened? Today they're gone, and we're strong as ever. We have to take that message and give us that encouragement. In spite of the challenges, we know with absolute faith that just like God took us out of Egypt then, He will free us from the suffering and free those 133 hostages and free us from all those sufferings that we went through. And just like the Jewish nation, took those moments in history and didn't use it as a time to walk with our heads down, but on the contrary, we walked with our heads high and we rebuild even greater than that was before. Just like this beautiful campus, you see? We had a small house and now we built this beautiful center. We as a Jewish nation are going to do the same thing. In spite of the hate and suffering that the rest of our enemies want to cause us, we're going to build even more, bring even more light, more goodness, more kindness, more stronger Jewish identity, stronger commitment as a Jewish nation to be a light to the nation and change the world. That is the message of Pesach, and that is the message at our Seder that we're going to take tonight. Tonight we're going to pray for the war to end. Tonight we're going to pray for peace in Israel and peace all over the world. Tonight we're going to pray also for the God to free the hostages. But tonight we're also going to dedicate ourselves even more than before to appreciate freedom, to value freedom, to make sure that we're never going to allow anyone to take away our freedom, to make sure that we're always going to remain as a proud Jew, walking with our heads high, not allowing other people to dictate how we should live our life as a Jew. To take that message and take that energy that this Passover has, a holiday of redemption, and bring it to our life, to our community, and the world. Happy Pesach.